what's going to be the force, the power, the leverage point that at least makes him think twice, and that perhaps makes him try to slow it down, or perhaps try to look at the situation, try to control it in some way. And the only leverage point I can see at the moment would be fear of losing votes to Reform, because Reform came second, as I mentioned earlier, in 89 seats, second to Labour. And so he has to be aware of that demographic, and he has to be aware, of that power. And in Scotland in 2026, we've got the elections coming up as well. And Reform was third in 14 constituencies and fourth in 30 constituencies. And it got 7% across the board in Scotland. It even got 5.7 average percent here in Glasgow, which, if that was translated into a regional vote for the regional MSPs in 2026, that would give a Reform candidate here in Glasgow. In fact, 7% across all of Scotland would probably give about 8 Reform candidates. And in 2026, on the regional list, there's no danger, there's no fear of voting for somebody and it's a wasted vote. I mean, people who, for example, this time around voted tactically for Labour, next time they can simply just vote for Reform and their vote will count. It will count more, in fact. So fear of losing seats to Reform, fear of losing votes and support to Reform is one factor, one leverage point that we've got. We would not have anything if Reform had not performed very well at that last general election. But because Reform has performed well, there is a lever there that can be utilised, and I've every hope that Reform will absolutely exploit that, because they're really all that we've got at this present stage